Hello, my name is Jan and I'm here to tell you a story. This story is about a little boy called Tambo who lived in South Africa with his father. They lived in a small village. His father was a farmer and he worked very, very hard. It wasn't a very big farm, but he had a lot to do, and sometimes Tambo's father needed help. So he would use something special. He would use one of these, a zipping stick. Now, in the olden days, these things would have magic. This one doesn't have any magic, but Tambo's father's did. And when he had lots to do on the farm and he didn't have any help, he would use the stick. So if he needed to milk all the cows and he needed to do it in one go, he would put buckets under each of the cows. Then he would take his zipping stick and he would go zip, and all the cows would be milked. Or if he needed to move some hay from one side of the field to the other side of the field, he would take the zipping stick and he would go zip, and the hay would be moved. Sometimes he was so tired that he would zip himself all the way home. And Tambo, he loved that zipping stick. And he was always saying, "Please can I have a go? Please can I have a go?" His father would say, "No, Tambo, this is not a toy. This is for working on the farm. Don't touch it." And he would put it back in its box. Tambo was desperate to get his hands on that zipping stick. And one day, his father went out to the farm, and because there wasn't much to do, he didn't need the stick. Tambo took his chance. He took the stick and he went out for an adventure to play some tricks on people, because Tambo, he loved to play tricks. He saw an old man walking on his walking stick. He was so tired. He'd been walking all day. His legs were hurting him. His back was hurting him. He just wanted to get in and have a nice, cool drink of water. Tambo saw his chance. He took the zipping stick and he went, zip! The walking stick was gone. The man fell over, banged his nose. "Oh," said the man. And Tambo, he thought that was the funniest thing he'd ever seen. He said, "That's so funny, you bumped your nose." "That was not funny," Tambo said. "I'm going to speak to your father." But Tambo was gone, looking for someone else to play a trick on. It was a woman. She'd been working hard in the market. She hadn't made it home in time to cook, so she'd bought food, and all the food was in a pot. The pot was on her head. There was meat, there was gravy, there was vegetables, there was corn. She was thinking about how happy her children would be when they saw her. Tambo, he took the zipping stick and he went, zip! The pot disappeared. The meat, the gravy, the vegetables, the corn, everything went in the woman's hair, in her ears, in her eyes, down her face. She was so angry. Tambo was laughing. "Yeah, that gravy!" She wiped the gravy out of her eyes. She said, "Tambo, I'm going to speak to your father about you." But Tambo didn't care. He'd run off to find someone else. This time it was a boy, a bigger boy than Tambo. His mother had just finished making him a tall, cool drink of lemonade. She'd just finished putting the sugar in. She'd stirred it and given it to her son. "Thank you, Mama," he said. And he put the glass to his lips. He was just about to drink when zip! Tambo zipped away the glass. The lemonade spilled all over his face. The boy was so surprised, and Tambo found his face so funny. The boy said, "Tambo, if I ever get my hands on you," and he began to chase Tambo, but Tambo was fast. He ran all the way home and slammed the door. But then he had to put the stick back before his father came home. He put the stick in the box and then carried on as though nothing had happened. His father came home. They made a meal together and they ate. Just as his father was relaxing in his chair, there was a knock at the door. And standing at the door was the old man, that mother and the boy. And they were all complaining about Tambo. Tambo's father had to say, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I'll speak to the boy." "You make sure you do," said the woman, and they all left. The father went inside. He said, "Tambo, come here." Tambo said, "Yes." He said, "Don't yes me. What did I say to you? Did I not tell you not to touch the zipping stick? Now you've caused problems. I'm telling you for the last time. The zipping stick is not for children. Don't touch it again. Yes, Father, he said, I promise. You promise? He said, yes, I promise. I promise I won't touch it again. Now, the next day, Tambo's father had to go into the city. So he left Tambo with the neighbour. And Tambo, he promised, I promise. I said, I won't do anything wrong. I won't touch the zipping stick. I'll be a good boy. Make sure you do, said the father. And he left. And everybody in the village got on with their day, just like normal. But it wasn't a normal day, because today was the day that Abiyoyo came. Do you know who Abiyoyo is? Abiyoyo is a giant. Big giant. Terrible looking giant. He had big, bushy, woolly black hair. Big, bushy, woolly black beard. He had wild eyes. His skin was polished, dark, and he loved to eat whatever he saw. Anything that he saw in front of him, he would eat. And the people could hear him coming from the distance. Dum, 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 dum. Run for your lives! Run for your lives! Abiyoyo's coming! And everybody went into their houses and slammed the door. Tambo, he went to the window and he looked. He'd heard about Abiyoyo, but he'd never seen him. And Abiyoyo was thundering through the village. Abiyoyo picked up some sheep. Abiyoyo juggled some goats. Abiyoyo picked up the cows by their horns. Tambo watched Abiyoyo through the window, and he did not like him. He did not like the fact that everybody was scared of him. He didn't like the fact that he was eating everybody's cows and sheep and goats. He wanted to do something about it. And he said to the neighbour, you have to do something about him. But the neighbour's knees were knocking. Her husband was hiding under the table and the children were crying. I will do it then, said Tambo. And you know what he did? He left the neighbour's house. He went to his house. The first thing he did was get his father's drum. The second thing he did, yes, that's right, you knew he was going to do it. He got the zipping stick. He put the zipping stick in his back pocket and he set off looking for the giant. The giant was in one end of the field and Tambo was walking towards him. And all the people in their houses, they could see Tambo. They said, what's that boy doing? Where's he going? Oh my goodness me. He's going to the giant. And one person said, hopefully he'll eat him. Tambo was scared. His heart was beating. But he walked bravely to the middle of the field. He sat down and began to play his drum. And he began to sing a song. It went like this. Abiyoyo, 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 yo, 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 Abiyoyo, yo, 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 yo. At the other end of the field, the giant stopped dead. And he looked at that boy sitting there and he said, huh? He's singing my name! And he walked, dum, 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 towards Tambo. Tambo was terrified, but he kept playing. Abiyoyo, 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 yo, 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 Abiyoyo, yo, 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 yo. You, said the giant. Why are you singing my name? Because I think you're wonderful, said Tambo. I saw you eat all those sheep. I saw you juggle those goats. I saw you eat those cows. You eat so much. I'm a fan. Please, let me sing for you. Abiyoyo, Abiyoyo. Abiyoyo listened and he nodded his head. Abiyoyo, Abiyoyo. Abiyoyo couldn't sing, but Tambo kept playing. And the giant joined in. Abiyoyo, 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 yo, 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 yo. You sing so well, said Tambo. I bet you can dance too. I can't, said the giant. Play. The boy played and the giant danced. Abiyoyo, 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 yo, 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 Abiyoyo, yo, 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 yo. So Tambo played even faster. And the giant danced even faster and sang even faster. Abiyoyo, 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 yo 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 yo, Abiyoyo, yo 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 yo. And so Tambo played even faster. Abiyoyo, 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 yo 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 yo, Abiyoyo, yo yo, Abiyoyo, Abiyoyo, Abiyoyo. I'm tired, said the giant. Lie down, said Tambo. Go to sleep. And then when you finish sleeping, you wake up again and then we sing and you dance again. No, said the giant. When I wake up, I eat you. Tambo waited until he was sure that the giant was asleep. And then he took his father's zipping stick from his back pocket. He raised it above the giant and he went, zip! And Abiyoyo, just like that, was gone, disappeared. The people in their houses could not believe what they'd just seen, and they came out of their houses. They were so proud. Yes, they said, yes! Everybody cheer! 3 cheers for Tambo! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! 2 people picked Tambo up and put him up on their shoulders, and they were parading through the village, and guess what they were singing? Abiyoyo! 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 Yo 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 yo! Abiyoyo! Yo 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 yo! Tambo was so proud as he sat up there on the shoulders of the villagers, holding his father's zipping stick in his hand, and his father was coming home from the city. His father saw everything. Well, when I say everything, I mean he saw his son sitting up there as bold as brass with his zipping stick in his hand. He said, what is the meaning of this? Come down, boy, I want to speak to you. And the villagers said, no, please don't shout at him. Listen. And they told Tambo's father everything that Tambo had done. And his father listened. He was so proud of his son. And when the people let him down, he gave his son a big hug. He said, son, I'm proud of you. You took the zipping stick, but this time you did a good thing. Come, let's go home. Let's have a celebration meal. No, we'll throw you a party, said the villagers. And they threw a big party for Tambo and his father. And the drummers came and they played their drums. And guess what they sang? Abiyoyo, 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 yo 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 yo, Abiyoyo, yo 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 yo, Abiyoyo, yo 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 yo, Abiyoyo, yo 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 yo. And you know, from that day forwards, Tambo didn't need to touch the zipping stick. His father could leave it in the box or he could leave it out. It didn't matter. He never touched it again. The last time was the best time because that was the end of Abiyoyo. And you know, I don't know where Abiyoyo went. Let's hope he doesn't turn up in a village or in a city near you. And that's the end of my story. Thank you for listening. Bye.